So along those lines, then, Jeff, I mean, thinking about sort of that intersection of, creativity, innovation, whatever you want to call it. I mean, given what you just said, is that either a teachable thing or is it a learnable thing, whether that's individually or organizationally?
Yeah. The answer is yes and yes and yes. So the reason I built the Innovatriums was because the way I learned to innovate was a see one, do one, teach one way of doing it. It's the same thing they would use if you were learning Hari design in Japan, if you were learning Knoll School design, if you were part of the Edinburgh Enlightenment, and you were learning, to the Industrial Revolution. I mean, the notion is it's teachable in as much as you can model or demonstrate. And this is where I've been insanely lucky in my career. I was Rudolf Arnheim's last graduate student. If you know anything about design thinking or creativity, he's the last of the great Germans that, Max Wertheimer's guys. Kurt Lewin was the other one, right? Bob Quinn, C.K. Prahlad. I got to be around people who are just way better than me. That's the truth of the matter. The second thing about learning, you learn by accelerating the failure cycle, not by avoiding it. So think about it, whether you're 8 or 80, you're trying to learn a new foreign language or an instrument, you're going through the failure cycle. You can either go slow. My grandfather was Hungarian. If I really want to learn Hungarian, I could put a bunch of tapes on or go to some course, or I can go move to Budapest for 6 weeks, and I guarantee I'll learn some Hungarian, right? So the notion is, you can accelerate the failure cycle, and this is what the whole idea now about minimal viable product and sprints and all this is about. It's really an old idea. I'm glad that people are bringing it back and are making it famous, but those of us who build things know this is how you do it. And then the final part about what can be taught. Look, we all are creative. It's part of our apparatus for being assimilating and accommodating information. It's part of the way your brain works. It's what's called cognitive mobility. Your brain has the ability to do that. Or everyone is kind of in full possession of their brain, right? The problem, though, is that we don't all have the same level of ability. And you learn that when you're in the 8th grade and, your science partner was Einstein, or in the 9th grade when you're on your basketball team was Michael Jordan, or in 10th grade in music class, Mozart sat next to you. I mean, what you learn is that not everybody got the same amount of everything, even though we're all creative, we're not all creative in the same way or to the same magnitude.